Students and community members take to the streets of Athens to help raise awareness about sexual assault. President Trump visits the southern border amidst threats to close it completely. And in sports, OU baseball and softball both played games today. We'll have all the highlights. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
Good evening, I'm Taylor Bruck. Thanks for joining us. Ohio schools are now required to notify parents within the first 2 hours of the school day if their child is absent. The law takes effect today and comes in response to the 2017 death of 14-year-old Aliana DeFries, who was kidnapped and killed in Cleveland earlier that year. Her mother didn't know she was missing until she didn't return home from school. Before now, school districts have had varying procedures about notifying parents. The 23-year-old Ohio man claiming to be a long-missing child from Illinois has been charged with making false statements to authorities. A federal prosecutor says the man, Brian Reaney of Medina, raised immediate suspicion after he declined to be fingerprinted by authorities. Reaney's brother says he has been getting into trouble for as long as he can recall.
He's been doing stupid stuff, not this serious, but he's been doing stupid stuff for as long as I can remember. He has several mental issues, yes. He has Asperger's, bipolar disorder, ADHD.
The boy Reaney was impersonating, Timothy Pitson, went missing from Aurora, Illinois in 2011. Benjamin Glassman, the U.S. Attorney for Ohio's Southern District, says the charge is important to send the message that false claims cause pain to the families of missing people. After a school year that began with students on high alert following a large number of sexual assault reports, the Athens community is coming together to hear from survivors and making their voices heard. Hundreds of Ohio University students, faculty, and Athens community members marched the streets of Athens to raise awareness about sexual and domestic violence. Take Back the Night is an annual event where survivors share their stories and people come out to show support and learn more about sexual violence prevention. Right before the march, people gathered in Baker Center and heard from 6 survivors. Claudia Cisneros, a dual master's graduate student at Ohio University and one of the speakers at the event, shared her story to inspire others to get involved in the cause.
I want other people to know that this is a real problem that our society is experiencing. It's a structural social problem, and we all have to try to help and contribute to change things.
Aaron Macer, a graduate assistant for learning community programs and a second-year master's student at Ohio University, came to the event as an ally and to support one of his best friends who is a survivor. He says it's important for all genders, not just women, to help fight for this cause.
I think more men should be involved, but I also think that it should never be about who's there, whose men are involved. I think about the people whose voices need to be heard. So if that's a man, if that's a woman, if that's anybody else that wants their story to be heard, I think those people need to be involved. And then anyone who supports them and believes their story and wants to hear them speak, those are the people that should be involved.
Live event technician for Ohio University Event Services Lee Plusinski shared his story publicly for the first time ever. Despite almost not going on stage, he powered through and had an impactful message to share.
It doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, a transgender man, a transgender woman, or non-binary, or somewhere in between, that this happens to everybody. And it just needs to be heard, and everybody needs to take back their night.
The large crowd released their strong emotions with loud chants as they marched through the streets of Athens. The event allowed survivors to open up and share their stories, educate listeners, gain allies, make friends, and do as the event said, take back the night. Take Back the Night is sponsored by Ohio University Student Senate, Women's Center, Survivor Advocacy Program, My Sister's Place, and many more.
From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm Matt Thickman. Taking a look outside currently at our webcam over in Scalia Lab. We see those clearing skies over there, but we've got to watch out for a few showers that are moving into the region. Taking a look at the current radar, you see showers starting to move into the Athens region, and those might reach the ground. It might be too dry, but we'll have to keep an eye on those. We'll see spotty sprinkles and showers through the evening hours. But taking a look right now, it's 61 degrees, mild and cloudy for this time of the year, and it's just a few sprinkles out there across much of the southeast Ohio region. Southeast winds at 4 miles per hour. Taking a look at right now temperatures across the region, our cooler spots are to the north in Cambridge, 56 degrees, 59 in Newark, 63 in Columbus. You got that urban heat island effect down up there, and 64 at our warmer spot down in Ironton. We see those mostly cloudy skies filtering through the region. You'll see breaks of those clouds and might be able to see the moon tonight if you're heading out to the telescope night. Taylor, how's that sound?
I like the 60-degree weather, Matt. Thank you. Authorities say they've made 19 arrests in 6 months after investigations into child exploitation in West Virginia. Federal and state officials announced yesterday the results of a task force that focuses on child exploitation and human trafficking. The task force unit, made up of federal prosecutors, the FBI, and West Virginia State Police, executed nearly 30 search warrants in the southern district of the state, resulting in the numerous arrests. At least 46 people in Kentucky are sick from an E. coli outbreak. State officials say the outbreak stems from a contaminated food source, but they haven't been able to pinpoint which food it is. The state health department says people usually become sick 2 to 5 days after eating contaminated food, and that 6 people have gone to the hospital so far regarding the outbreak. A West Virginia man is suing his former middle school science teacher, who he says sexually abused him for years, gave birth to his children, and threatened to take them away if he ever left her. The lawsuit was filed yesterday by 28-year-old Christopher Birch against former Bridge Street Middle School science teacher and track coach Elizabeth Harbert. This comes in an effort to end the relationship but continue Birch's contact with his children. According to the Intelligencer, the lawsuit says the school's principal and other area leaders knew of the abuse but chose not to act. Coming up, President Trump is in California inspecting a new section of border fencing after threatening to shut down the border completely. Plus, is one drink a night too much for your body to handle? We'll find out more when Newswatch returns. Stay with us.
Is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
This is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box. But the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
CNN has learned that special counsel Robert Mueller's team wrote a series of summaries outlining their findings, and a source says investigators expected more of that information to be used by Attorney General William Barr when he issued a memo about the report for the public. But Barr never revealed those summaries, and Democrats are pushing the Justice Department for more information. CNN's Jessica Schneider reports.
House Judiciary Chairman Gerald Nadler demanding the public release of summaries prepared by special counsel Robert Mueller's team outlining their findings.
This is a matter of law, and it is a matter of justice. We need a full accounting of the president's actions.
As CNN learns that several investigators on Mueller's team have expressed frustration with the way Attorney General William Barr characterized their report. In particular, some investigators say Barr's letter inadequately described how the probe into potential obstruction included derogatory information about President Trump's actions.
There's an easy answer to this. Release the Mueller report as soon as possible.
Nadler also requesting all communications between the special counsel's office and the Justice Department about the report. The Justice Department tells CNN they are not commenting on Nadler's latest demand. But earlier in the day, they defended Barr's handling of the report, insisting that every page of the report may contain confidential information and that the Attorney General did not want to release the report in serial or piecemeal fashion. Democrats making clear that what Barr is preparing will not be enough.
It's inevitable that Mr. Mueller is going to testify at some point, but the first thing we need is the release of the report and the documents.
The White House accusing the Democrats of overreach.
They've lost in 2016, they lost on the collusion battle, and now they're looking for any and everything they can to continue to attack this president because they have no message.
President Trump echoing that message on Twitter, writing, "This is the highest level of presidential harassment in the history of our country."
President Trump is in Calexico, California today inspecting a newly repaired section of border fencing. This comes after a week of confusing comments over whether he would close down border ports of entry. Camila Berno is in Calexico, California with the latest.
Mexico has been absolutely terrific for the last 4 days. They're apprehending everybody.
President Donald Trump paying a visit to the southern border Friday, a week after threatening to shut it down. Now saying he believes Mexico is following through on his demands for tighter security.
Yesterday, they apprehended 1,400 people. The day before, it was 1,000. And if they apprehend people at their southern border, where they don't have to walk through, that's a big home run.
While the president has left open the possibility of closing the border down the road, he says he can keep the pressure on Mexico in other ways.
If they continue that, everything will be fine. If they don't, we're going to tariff their cars at 25% coming into the United States.
But Democrats argue Trump's threats to close the border only make the situation worse.
Every time he talks about sealing the border, it produces a surge.
Friday's trip to California comes after a bruising battle with Democrats over funding a wall along the southern border. 20 states filed a motion Thursday for a preliminary injunction to stop the use of federal funds for construction of the wall after the president declared a national emergency. But the president insists a wall is a necessity. In Calexico, California, I'm Camila Bernal reporting.
Coming up on Newswatch, we'll see what effects smoking can have on your feet. That story plus more when we return.
Taking a look at our weather headlines, a mild weekend in store. Spring is here to stay. We'll find out. Weekend storm chances coming up. But first, here's a look at stocks of local interest.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
I loved Ken Burns' series on the Civil War. It was deeply impacting. I love history. To have those stories told through these letters, through stories of love and loss, it rewrote the book on how to tell a story. When television was invented, there were a lot of people who had dreams about what it could do. I think PBS still aspires for and often succeeds at reaching the highest ideals of what television could be.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
From the Newswatch Weather Center, I'm Matt Thigpen. Again, looking at our headlines, we're going to take a look at a mild weekend in store. Is spring here to stay? We'll find out next. And a chance for some weekend storms as we wrap up the weekend. Taking a look at our almanac for today, we hit 62 degrees. We had a low this morning of 47, so quite mild. It felt pretty nice out there today. We're just slightly above normal for that high. And again, we saw just almost a tenth of an inch of rain this morning earlier today. Right now in Athens, we're seeing a few sprinkles out there. We're sitting at 61 degrees and dropping. Cloudy skies, much of the region, southeast winds at 4 miles per hour. Looking at other places around the region, we have 63 in Columbus, 59 in Newark, 56 in Cambridge, and 57 in New Martinsville. And again, those breaking clouds will continue throughout the evening hours, so you might see a peak or two of sunshine as we head through the evening hours. And again, here's the satellite right now. We see those breaks in the clouds in western Ohio, and those will filter in throughout much of the region. Taking a look at our webcam, again, you see those clouds starting to break down towards the south and west. So they're almost here. Taking a look at the radar, you see those showers moving into the Athens region right here, and they will continue off and on throughout the evening hours. Cherry blossoms this weekend should be perfect for those to bloom this weekend. You see those beautiful flowers starting to peak. So I think by Saturday and into Sunday, before that rain gets here later on Sunday, they'll be able to be in full bloom if they aren't already. Taking a look at our pollen forecast, that's sniffling, sneezing like we're all doing, waking up with a cold and headache. Saturday is going to be our high point, but thankfully we'll get a reprieve as we head into Sunday and into Monday with rain coming into the region. Taking a look again, we have that high pressure dominating our region. That'll keep us calm for now. Those clouds will continue to move off to the east, and we'll look at Saturday in control with that high pressure once again. And Sunday we start to see these systems move into our region, and that'll come into the area on the evening hours. So let's take a look at tonight. We see 48 degrees, partly cloudy and a mild evening. Southeast winds 0 to 5 miles per hour, 5 on the high end, so they could be light or non-existent tonight. Taking a look at our weekend, see Saturday, 70 degrees, sunny skies, and a few mixing clouds there. 50 degrees by Saturday evening, a mild and dry Saturday evening. So I think the Saturday is our best chunk of the weekend as we see thunderstorms late on Sunday, but we'll hit at 72. So it'll be a nice 70-degree weekend. Taking a look at our extended forecast, again, those showers continue into Monday. 54, we cool off well, down 20 degrees or so on Tuesday, but sunny skies, but we got to watch out for more chilly weather heading into Friday. 59 degrees and a 40% chance of those showers. And Taylor, I think that's a roller coaster if you don't say. 50 degrees, and then you go up to 75, 40, 59, and those lows, thankfully, they're staying above freezing. So I think this weekend we have lots of events out there, and I think it'll be a great weekend. Again, we talked about the 70-degree weather. We have the Dairy Barn, you have the International Street Fair, and the Public Telescope Night. Those clouds will be out of the region on Saturday evening, so it will be beautiful weather for that. Clear skies on Saturday, not so great tonight, so we might not have that tonight. But again, the Dairy Barn from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, and the International Street Fair kicks off with the parade at 11 a.m.
Well, Matt, it sounds like there's lots of opportunities to have fun this weekend and pretty good weather to enjoy them.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Definitely.
So a new study finds that just one alcoholic drink a day could increase the risk of having a stroke. The study published this week in Lancet, a weekly peer-reviewed general medical journal, reveals that having 1 to 2 drinks a day increased stroke risk by 10 to 15%. When the number went to 4 drinks, the risk grew by 35%. Researchers defined 1 drink as either a bottle of beer, 1 small glass of wine, or a single measure of spirits. The study's co-author says the research was not clear-cut when it came to linking daily drinks to increased risk of heart attacks, so more evidence will be collected. Don't take your feet for granted. They work hard and can tell you more about your health than you may realize. Here's Mary Maloney with today's Health Minute.
Healthy feet are happy feet. Comfortable shoes are important, but so are personal habits in order to avoid serious problems later, especially for those diagnosed with diabetes. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention suggest seeing a podiatrist at least once a year. Some diabetics have a reduced blood flow to the legs and feet, which can make it difficult to recognize a problem. So don't smoke, or stop if you do. Smoking can reduce blood flow to the feet. Be active and maintain a healthy weight, but try and choose foot-friendly activities. The CDC also suggests being familiar with and recognizing the body's warning signs about potential health issues with the feet. Those may include tingling or burning, numbness, color and temperature change, leg pain, or cramping. See a doctor if you recognize these signs. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mary Maloney.
And I'm Taylor Jedrzak, and today we've got a full lineup of OU sports stories, including the women's golf team, which is set to hit the road this weekend and travel to Bowling Green. The OU baseball and softball teams both hit the field today. Stay tuned and we'll have the latest updates. All is next on Newswatch.
Is a box that showed you a world beyond your own. It was just a box, but the world has changed, and so have we. And now the box can be almost any size or shape. And you decide what you want to explore. Anytime, any place. Break out of the box with PBS.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
PBS had a special on Pearl Harbor, and once Landon started watching the show about the Arizona, he completely became fascinated.
That's Donald Stratton, and that's me.
And then his Christmas wish this year was to meet Donald Stratton, one of the survivors from the Arizona.
So good to see you, buddy.
Everything that Landon has learned from PBS, it's immeasurable.
This is for you.
Thank you, big guy.
He is living proof of the effect that PBS has had on his life.
WOUB is member-supported public television. Your contribution keeps WOUB available in your community. Become a member with a gift of $60 or more for access to stream more than 1,000 of your favorite PBS programs through WOUB Passport. Programs like Nature, Sherlock, and all episodes of Downton Abbey and Victoria. Pledge now at WOUB.org. And thank you.
Welcome back. I'm Taylor Jedrzak. Yesterday, Blake told you that the Ohio softball team had the best offense in the MAC. Well, today they got a taste of their own medicine. Central Michigan scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th on their way to a 7-3 win this afternoon. The Bobcats came into the game averaging almost 9 hits per game, but only managed 3 today.
Deanna Cole provided the lone highlight for the Cats this afternoon when she gave the softball a ride out of the ballpark for a 3-run home run in the top of the 4th. It was the senior's 6th home run of the season. The softball team is back in action tomorrow with a doubleheader against the Chippewas. Baseball team was also in action this afternoon, and their game just went final. They traveled to Northern Illinois for a weekend series and looking to extend their 3-game winning streak. As of a couple minutes ago, they actually fell to the Huskies 7-6. They made a 3-run comeback in the top of the 9th, but it wasn't enough. They got off to a great start this afternoon with a 3-run first inning. Traben Funderburg drove in 2 runs with a 2-out single to left, and Cole Rebels followed that up with an RBI single to right. Huskies erased that lead in the bottom of the 1st with the 4-run response, and then extended their lead to 5-3 in the bottom of the 3rd. With the loss, the Bobcats will look to build a new winning streak tomorrow when they take on the Huskies again. Moving away from the Diamond, the women's track and field team will host their first event of the year tomorrow when they host the annual Cherry Blossom Invitational in Athens. Members from the Bobcats will compete in 17 different competitions on Saturday, and the event will also give the Bobcats a chance to honor their 9 seniors on the track and field team. Cherry Blossom Invitational will begin tomorrow at noon at Pruitt Field. Also in action this weekend will be the women's golf team. The Bobcats travel up to Bowling Green for the Dolores Black Falcon Invitational. Newly named MAC Golfer of the Week, Nicole Smiley leads a team of 5 Bobcats in the event that will compete against 9 other schools. Among those 9 is 4 fellow MAC teams. First round will begin with a shotgun start on Saturday morning, and with the second round to begin bright and early on Sunday morning at 8:30. Up in Cleveland, the Indians continued their early season homestand with a matchup against the Toronto Blue Jays. It's been a rough go for Tribe Bats so far this season as they entered last night's game with the fewest hits in all of baseball. But you know what helps fix bad offense? Some great pitching. Trevor Bauer pitched 7 innings without giving up a hit and fanning 8 Blue Jays along the way. Bauer has given up just 1 hit in his first 14 innings pitched this season. The Tribe bullpen kept the combined no-hitter going into the 9th, but lost it with no outs. The damage was done, however, and the Indians would go on to hold on and win 4-1. Lastly, let's head up to Columbus, where the Eastern Conference wildcard race is coming down to the wire, and the Blue Jackets are in the thick of it. Last night, the Carolina Hurricanes locked up a playoff spot, leaving just 1 up for grabs. The Jackets take the ice tonight in New York City, tied with Montreal for the final wildcard spot, needing to just beat the Rangers to clinch the final wildcard spot. Thanks to holding the tiebreaker over the Canadiens. The puck is set to drop at Madison Square Garden in just a few minutes at 7 o'clock. I'm Taylor Jedrzak, and that's all for sports. Back to you, Taylor.
Thanks, Taylor. Here's a look at not 1, but 2 solar eclipses on Mars. The images were taken last month by NASA's Curiosity rover. It shows Mars' 2 moons crossing in front of the sun. The moon on the left, Phobos, would actually be considered an annular eclipse because it didn't completely cover the view of the sun. Deimos on the right is a smaller moon, as you can see, and so scientists consider it to be transiting the sun. The series of images were taken on March 17th and March 26th.
Yes, Taylor, and that looks like a great time to go to the telescope tomorrow night. Go up to the observatory up at the ridge. It's 50 degrees, mild and dry. So it'll be, we'll have a few clouds out there, but you should be able to see some of the moons out there in Saturn and even some of the stars out there. Well, it's 70 degrees for the afternoon hours on Saturday and cool down to 50. Sunday, 72 degrees. The thunderstorms will move in late. We'll see a few rumbles of thunder. We'll have to watch out for the severe potential, but it doesn't look likely at this time that we'll have any major severe weather threats. Looking at Monday, 72 degrees, so that rain showers continue. We'll be cool down behind that cold front, 54 degrees, 41 for the low, but we warm up Thursday with more rain showers, 75, and end up 59 on Friday. Taylor?
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Taylor Bruck. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.